Hello, readers. I'm Kate Moore. Welcome to Romance Month. I like to write historical romance set in the British Isles in the tradition of Georgette Hare and Jane Austen. My heroines are independent young women facing the prospect of marriage but still wanting to hold on to their own identity. My heroes are outsiders and they have to be brought into the circle of family and love with kindness and courage and talk. Today I'd like to read to you from A Spy's Guide to Seduction. It's part of my Husband Hunter series. It was a 2019 top pick in romance from the Library Journal. I hope you'll enjoy this opening scene. Lady Emily Radstock accepted a greeting from her sister's butler Giddings and handed him her coat, gloves, and bonnet. She dispensed with Giddings' attempt to precede her up the stairs to the drawing room. He mumbled something as she bounded past him with her package under her arm. She assured him she did not need to be announced. As she threw open the drawing room door, her younger sister Rosalind, sitting at her needlework, her stocking feet on a blue velvet ottoman, looked up with a start. "Where is she?" Emily demanded. The door closed behind her. "Hello, Em. Where is who?" Rosalind held up a delicate white gown no bigger than a tea towel. "Mother," said Emily. She strode across the room to stand before her sister, looking down. Rosalind, 6 years younger, with rosy and round with her first pregnancy, made a strikingly domestic appearance. "Oh, Mother's gone to Grandmamma's." Emily sank onto the sofa opposite her sister. "Of all the cowardly dodges, she knows she's safe from me there." "What's she done?" Rosalind asked, lowering the white garment to her lap. "This." Emily tossed the package she carried onto the small gate-leg table next to Rosalind. The package made a satisfying slap against the polished wood, and Rosalind regarded it warily. "She's offended you with a brown paper package tied up in string?" "No. Yes, come to think of it, I am offended by the brown paper and the string, her idea of being discreet before the servants." "Em, you must enlighten me. I'm growing more confused by the minute." "Sorry, Roz. Were you napping?" Half the drapery over the tall windows had been drawn to shadow the far end of the room, where Rosalind had stationed the spectacular camelback sofa their mother had given her. Upholstered in a deep green and peony-patterned damask, the large sofa had been turned to face away from the delicate blues and golds of the room's main seating. "No, I drew the drapery because—" "How are you?" Emily leaned forward, looking closely at her sister. "Quite well, really. A great many of the discomforts have passed, and the terrible fatigue. That's why Mother thought she could go to Grandmamma, who really does need her more than I do at the moment. And I have Philip." "Is Phil much help?" Emily asked. "I didn't know husbands were." "He is." Rosalind smiled in what Emily thought was a rather dreamy way for a married woman about to bear a child. "But you came to tell me what's upset you." "Husbands, or rather my lack of one and what Mother chose to do about it. Open the package, Roz. You'll see." Rosalind put aside her needlework and took up the little package, untying the string and pulling off the paper. She glanced at Emily and read the title on a small blue volume, "The Husband Hunter's Guide to London." "You see," said Emily. "Wrapped it up as if it were a gift and left it for Alice to bring me with my chocolate this morning, while Mamma has gone off to avoid me." "It's not a gift?" asked Rosalind, turning the pages of the little blue book, her gaze skimming over them. "A gift?" Emily bounced a little on the sofa. "It's a notice to vacate. It's a shove out of the nest. It's a lit fuse on a bomb." Rosalind looked up. "Surely Mamma means nothing of the kind." "Doesn't she? It's my birthday in 3 weeks. I'll be 29. She considers me past hope, past praying for." "Do you think so? You don't really want to continue at home, do you? You want an establishment of your own." "Of course I do, but it won't be my establishment, will it? It will belong to some man. It will be my job to run it for him." Rosalind shook her head. "I don't think marriage should be seen in exactly that light." Emily stared at the rather magnificent painting of a chestnut stallion over the marble hearth. "You know, Roz, I should marry the first imbecile I meet, however brainless or idle he is." "Darling, I don't think you should do anything of the sort." The door to the sitting room opened, and a young man of fair, ruddy good looks entered and stopped when he spotted Emily. "Hello, Em," he said. "I thought—" He looked around the room as if it were a puzzle to be solved. Phil, dear?" Rosalind gave him one of her dreamy smiles. He crossed the room and gave his wife a quick kiss on the cheek. "Roz," he said, "I'm looking for Linley. Giddings said he showed him up to you, but now I find M instead." "Oh, dear," said Roz. "I forgot all about Linley." "Where is he then?" Phil asked. "Right here, old man." A deep voice came from the shadows, and a tall, dark-haired giant with a lean face, elegantly dressed limbs, and an indolent manner, unfolded himself from behind the camelback sofa. He fixed his gaze on Emily. "You should have made yourself known, sir." Emily waited for her hair to catch on fire from the heat of the blush in her cheeks. The giant moved her way with easy grace. "I think you've proposed to me," he said, "and I accept. Thanks for listening."